Oh, but you said that you wanted gossip, so are you still looking for a gossip fix? Cause I got some tea for you. Should I put this out on the internet? Probably not. Am I going to anyway? Yes, because the story is kind of funny. Okay, gossip first, and then we'll get into the dad jokes, okay? So, said manager, right? Said manager that was the one that gave really bad dad jokes. He quit and went to a new job, right? Everything was fine and dandy. We did lose out on the dad jokes, sadly, but we are getting gossip out of this. So, after he left, right, he got this new job, and we still continued to talk as friends outside of, like, because we weren't working together anymore. It wasn't, like, super, super weird to, like, you know, have friendly conversations outside of work. And so one day we ended up going, like, we like hung out together, right? Before Halloween, we went and we hung out together, and we went to a Spirit of Halloween, and then we went to another store, right? And then that was it. Couple months go by, we're still talking and stuff, and one day he just goes, "Hey, I have something to tell you." And I went, "Alright, sick, what's up?" He ends up going, "I may or may not have had feelings for you for a couple months." And I went, "I'm really, really, really sorry, but I don't have feelings for you. I don't really like you like that. I just kind of see you as a friend." You know, mind you, this was all over text. This was all over text message because we hadn't hung out in like a good couple of months, right? And he went, "That's totally fine. That's cool. Can we still be friends?" And I went, "Yeah, sure. We can do that." And then a couple more months went by, and a family friend of ours passed away, or like of me and my parents. A family friend of ours passed away, right? And we're really, really close with that family. And said person that passed away has like a couple of grandchildren. So I took it upon myself one day to take one of their younger grandchildren, who is 10, and hang out with him for the day, right? So I went and picked him up from his house, and then went, "Hey, what do you want to do?" And he went, "I don't know." And I went, "We can go walk around a store, we can go to a park, like, what do you want to do?" And he was like, "Let's go to Target." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So we went to Target, and we were walking around, right? We were just chilling, having fun. We walked around Target for about an hour, right? As soon as we got there, I had texted ex-manager and told him that, like, I was out with this 10-year-old, like, trying to make him feel better because his grandfather had just passed away, like, 2 or 3 weeks prior. And ex-manager texted me back and was like, "Hey, do you just, like, not want to hang out with me?" Actually, should I just read you the entire, like, text conversation? Is that wrong? Is that wrong? Should I not read it out loud? Should I just give a summary, or should I read it out loud? I will word for word read this out. Yes. So I sent a video. I'm not gonna play the video, but, like, there is me. That is a video, right? So I sent him the video of me and the 10-year-old. Mind you, this kid is 10. I am 11 years older than this kid, right? I have known this kid since he was born, and I have changed him and his brother, who's like 8. I've changed both of their diapers because I used to babysit for that family like every 2 weeks. Okay? This kid is like practically like my cousin. Okay? 10. This kid is 10. I can count on 2 hands how old this child is. I want you to, like, it seems like I'm really, like, pushing it in your face that he's 10, but, like, for a reason. The kid is 10. I have known him since he was born. He is practically like my cousin. 10. Back to the story, right? Sent him the video. He goes, who's that? I said, family friend. He had us listening to Metallica in the car because I had given the kid my phone. The phone was hooked up Bluetooth to my car, right? And I was like, here, you can play music. I was like, play whatever you want on Spotify. 10. Quinn, please. We're not camping. No one's camping. I want everyone to understand that he's 10. Like, literally a child. Like a minor. Like a literal child. Like, not even a teenager. A child. Okay? I hand the child, the child, my phone and go, here, play whatever music you want. He plays Metallica. Right? So I go, the kid, I was like, he had us playing Metallica in the car. Cool. The family friend that passed away the other month was his grandfather. He goes, oh. I go, and he texted me this morning that he missed me, so I decided I was going to pick him up, right? Because at the funeral for his grandfather, the child, the 10-year-old, at the funeral, he was, like, really, really heartbroken, obviously, because his grandfather just passed away, and he was really, really close with his grandfather. So, like, towards the end of the night, I was like, dude, look, if you ever need anything, you can text me, you can call me, you can FaceTime me, whatever it is, like, you know I love you, you're like my cousin, you're like a little brother to me, you know, if you need anything, you can text me, right? Like, I will be right there to text you back, okay? And he was like, all right, cool, right? Gave the kid my phone number, right? So he had texted me that morning and was like, I miss you. And I was like, oh, I miss you too, right? So I decided that I was going to go pick him up. I talked with his parents. I was like, hey, can I come pick your child up? Like, go take him to do something just to get his mind off of everything. They were like, yeah, that's cool. Right? So I was like, yeah, he texted me this morning that he missed me, and I decided to pick him up. He goes, that's nice of you. I have a question for whenever you get a second. I was like, what's up? He goes, are you afraid to hang out with me? I'm sorry. I am currently listening to this kid rant about his life story in the middle of Target as we walk literal laps around Target. Man didn't want to look at anything. He didn't want to buy anything. He just wanted to walk laps around the entire Target for about an hour. I don't think I've ever walked around a Target as much as I walked around a Target that day. Okay? Again, I'm also with a 10-year-old, right? So he goes, are you afraid to hang out with me? I was like, what? I was like, no. He goes, alrighty. And then 5 minutes later, I hadn't responded because you responded with alrighty. What am I gonna say to that? Coolio. Sick question, dude. Like, no, what the fuck? So 5 minutes later, he texts me back, then why don't you? You bail on all our plans and act like you don't want to. I tell you that I have work and that I'm busy with my parents and that I'm doing other things. You mean I have a life outside of texting you? Like, we're sitting there walking around a Target, and I, like, read that, and I was just like, while also listening to this kid rant about another 10-year-old at his school, right? You bail on all our plans. To be fair, right, he's asked me to, like, go to IKEA with him and asked to hang out on 2 separate occasions. He was like, hey, do you want to hang out? And I was like, I have to see what I'm doing tomorrow, but, like, maybe. Right? And then a couple, like, 2 weeks later, he was like, hey, do you want to go to IKEA with me? And I was like, sounds like fun. Right? And then he never, like, the next day, the day that we were supposed to go to IKEA, he never texted me about, hey, like, when do you want to go to IKEA today? So therefore, we never went. What was I supposed to do? Hey, when do you want to go to IKEA? No! You're the one that wanted to make up the plans. So you text me when you want to go to IKEA, and I'll see if I'm busy. Now, to be fair, a lot of times I was bailing because I didn't want to hang out with him, but that's more of like a personal, I have a lot of anxiety and I don't like hanging out with people in general type of thing, and not really a him thing, you know? But like, to be fair, yes, there were times where I bailed. We were supposed to like go to the mall one day after I got off of work, which I work at a mall, so we were supposed to just meet up at that mall after I got off of work. But then I decided that I didn't want to be at the mall anymore, so I went home and said, hey, something came up with my family. Was it a little bit of a lie? Yes. Was I tired from work because I had been there since like 6 a.m.? Yes. So, I technically have good reason to bail sometimes, right? Other times I was definitely just lying out of my ass and telling him that I didn't want to hang out, or that I was busy when I really wasn't. So, back to the story. He goes, then why don't you bail on all your plans and act like you don't want to? I was like, I'm sorry, I just get busy. Reasonable response. Right? That is a reasonable response. I apologize for bailing, and I give him a reasonable explanation on why I am bailing, because I get busy. Theoretically, I do not have to go into detail on why I get busy or what I'm doing that causes me to be busy. That is my life. That is private. You don't need to know. Right? Like, reasonable explanation. He goes, I have a hard time believing that, but okay. I was like, I'm sorry. Again, we are still walking around Target. I almost said Walmart. We are walking around Target still. And I just go, I'm sorry. Man goes, okay. And then I left him on red. Because you responded with okay, so what am I going to respond? I'm not going to keep apologizing to you because you don't want to respect me and respect the fact that I get busy. And you think I'm lying to you. Like, which, to be fair, I am. He doesn't need to know that. Why I might be lying to him, he does not need to know that. The point is that he's accusing me of lying to him. Right? He goes, after the okay, he goes, you can be honest with me. If you don't want to hang out with me or see me, just say so. I just want to know why, if that's the case. Slow blinks. When in any of our conversations have I ever said that I was scared to hang out with you or didn't want to see you? The answer is never. Every time I told him that I could not hang out was because I told him I was busy. I did not go into further explanation because I feel like I don't owe him an explanation on why I got busy. People get busy. I do not owe him an explanation. I said, that's not the case. He goes, then is it something you just don't want to tell me? Was it something I did or said? I'm sorry, where are you getting all of this? Why are you pulling all of this shit out of your ass? Don't you think that if it was either one of those things, you would have been getting hints about that when said thing was done or said? If there have been no hints of you doing or saying something wrong, ever, don't you think that maybe that's not the case? I digress. I respond with just a simple no. Just a simple no. Right? And that was almost 20 minutes later because I was driving and dropping this kid off. Right? He had said that, and I decided I read it, and I decided I was not going to respond yet. I was like, I need to process what this man just said to me, because if I respond right now and I get another text message back, I'm going to flip out. So I just left him on read, and like, he texted me that before we left Target. We were sitting in my car awaiting an address, right? Because I had to text his parents, because his parents had gone over to another family friend's house who we are also really close with, and I didn't know their address because they had just moved. So I was like waiting for, you know, one of his parents to text me the address back, right? And so we're just sitting in my car, and I got that text message, and I was like, I'm not responding yet. I cannot respond, or I will lose my mind. So I just looked at it, swiped my text messages away, closed my phone, you know, technically I didn't close my phone because I put the address into my maps, and then like drove, and I drove this kid to the other family friend's house. And then when I was leaving that family friend's house, after dropping this kid off, right, because I had spent probably about an hour and a half with this kid, including driving, while spending an hour walking around Target, I just replied with a simple no. And he texts back within like 5 minutes and goes, okay, this is where the real kicker comes in. I want everyone to pay attention. I want everyone to listen closely. It gets so much worse. This singular text message that I'm about to read you is the worst of the worst. Okay? And before I read it, I'm really close to the mic. It's probably really loud, and I apologize for that. Before I read this, I want to reiterate one more time, because I haven't said it enough. This kid is 10. Quite literally, a child. Okay? He is a child who I have known for 10 years. His entire lifetime. I have known him his entire lifetime. I was at his parents' wedding. Quote, okay, I'm sorry for acting like that. We haven't hung out since last year, and I've only seen you when you're at work, and I shouldn't have jumped to conclusions or assumed you weren't telling the truth. I'm really sorry, it's childish, but I guess I was just jealous, and I feel like a jackass. I'm gonna let that sink in. Let it process. I'm gonna read that last sentence again. I'm really sorry. It's childish, but I guess I was just jealous, and I feel like a jackass. Period. I guess I was just jealous. I showed these text messages to my mom, and she was like, she just started laughing, and I was like, Mom, he's jealous of a 10-year-old. And she was like, no, I don't think that's what it was. I think he was just, just jealous that, you've hung out with other people. I was like, Mom, no. The only people that I've hung out with is you, Dad, and this 10-year-old. And everybody at a funeral. I have not hung out with anybody unless they were at work, quite literally on the clock, working, at a funeral, or been my mom and dad. Or this 10-year-old who was also at the funeral, who I just took to walk around Target for an hour. Who is he jealous of if it's not the 10-year-old? Mother, I would love to know. Because if not the 10-year-old, who? Man is jealous of a 10-year-old. Moral of the story. That was on May 15th, right? That last text message was at 6:22 p.m. on May 15th. Sunday, May 15th at 6:22 p.m. I did not respond. I read that, took screenshots of the entire conversation, and sent it to a group chat that I was in to make sure that I was reading it correctly and that I wasn't just tripping on acid or something. And that that everyone else that heard that last paragraph believed with their whole heart that this man is jealous of a 10-year-old. And mind you, everyone that was in that group chat also believes that he was jealous of a 10-year-old. Now, 3 hours later, because I did not respond, 3 hours later, still on Sunday, May 15th, now at 9:10 p.m. Mind you, I am laying down, about to go to sleep, because I have to be up at 5 o'clock the next morning for work. I am about to shut my eyes and go to sleep. I see my phone light up. And I see the message, "I'm sorry if I upset you also. I'll give you space. I'm sorry." I'm sorry if I upset you. You're sorry if you upset me? Bro, I'm laughing at the fact that you are jealous of someone that is 15 years younger than you. 15 years. You have 15 years on this kid. And you're jealous of him? Because I took him to Target to walk around for an hour because he just lost his grandfather? You have me so unbelievably messed up. Upset doesn't even begin to describe the emotions that I felt during this conversation. After the last text message at 9:10 p.m., where he said, "I'm sorry if I upset you also. I'll give you space, I'm sorry." 10 days later, Wednesday, May 25th, at 7:47 p.m., he sends me a link to a TikTok. You just told me that you were jealous of a 10-year-old. Told me that you were going to give me space because you are sorry if you upset me. And now you're sending me a link to a TikTok after I have not talked to you in 10 days? Please fuck off. Please fuck off. Please fuck out of here. Please stop. Just don't. Just, at this point, delete my number. I did not respond. I watched the TikTok, I closed TikTok, I closed my messages, and I went on my merry way. Because I was not going to respond to it. I was not going to respond to him. It has been 3 months? 2 months? And I still have not responded to him. Because why would I? You told me that you were jealous of a 10-year-old. You were jealous that I was hanging out with a grieving 10-year-old. If he texted me right now, I can promise you that I would not respond. I hope that he has spent these 2 months really reflecting on just everything in his life. Not even just this, just like everything. Like I want him to sit down and take some time and really be like, you know, why did I think those things? Why did I say those things? What compelled me to be jealous knowing that she is hanging out with a 10-year-old? Or even just a child in general.
Well, welcome to the zone.